Hi everyone, please let me know. Can you hear and see the beautiful buildings, and can you just hear me? I have joined earlier. Hi everyone, hi. So this is the pre-tour check. We're usually checking the sound and the video, and you can ask me questions, and I will say that I'm glad to hear you. So wonderful, guys. This is the stag party. You see flamingos. I will tell you the stories about the stag parties in a while. So the Prague government had the idea to actually ban them this year. I mean, not the stag parties, but to ban the people wearing different clothes, like the clothes that are not appropriate. Like, it's possible to wear flamingos, but it's not possible to wear the fancy costumes. Oh, great, Marilyn. And like the man and female organs are not allowed to wear. Oh, here I can switch the camera. There is something, the changes happened in the in this app in Prism, and it just shows different signs. Can you see this beautiful butterfly? So before the tour starts, we are going to see the amazing spinning head of Franz Kafka and beautiful mesmerizing medieval streets. And I have changed our itinerary today. So it's going to be a classical Prague tour with a twist. And we're beginning our stream. And you see this beautiful mesmerizing show. So Prague is famous for different types of architecture, Baroque and Art Nouveau, but these butterflies are new and they are moving. You see the propeller is moving, and they will be flipping their wings very soon. So before starting our walk to beautiful old town square, I'm going to show you some art and some kind of the mesmerizing street art, because Prague is not just the city of amazing red roofs and 100 or 1000 spires and the inspiring astronomical clock and the beautiful architecture on the old town square, but it's also famous for the extraordinary pieces of art. So I will just check the time. It is still 5 minutes before we start, and we will be waiting here. Probably I will walk with you a little bit just to show you, not to show you everything right away. Thank you, Claire. Slava Ukraini, Heroям Slava. Thank you for greeting me with this wonderful words. Today, President Zelensky arrived to Switzerland to the Summit of Peace, and I hope this will remind people from different countries that Ukraine is still alive and fighting. So thank you for joining me today. Please let me know where you're missing me. So I wasn't doing tours for, I think, 3 weeks. It's been very rainy in Prague, and even today, just before I came here, it was gloomy, but now the sun is shining. It's kind of up to the evening. It's a little bit better, and I'm so glad to see all. We have a tour full of beautiful, mesmerizing objects, and I'm not speaking about this road sign. I'm speaking about the street art and also about the beautiful architecture. So about about the question, did you miss the tours? How is your summer going? Please let me know, because we're going to start in a couple of minutes. Let me check the time. In a few minutes, and we will start walking. Now the city is full of people, because the students are finishing their exams, and a lot of students are applying for the universities and colleges. So the people, they will start traveling approximately from, I think, July, and the supermarkets are full of the swimsuits. So people here are planning to go to the sea, because, as you know, Czech Republic is the landlocked country, and there is no sea. And I think that really this could be with the sea. So this is the only thing that Czech Republic is missing, the sea. This would be the perfect destination and perfect country. I love the sea. There are mountains, but I absolutely love swimming and sunbathing. And probably if I had money, I would choose to live in some kind of seashore, closer to the waves and to the breeze of the sea or ocean. I have never seen the ocean, but I think it's going to be great. The heat there has been extreme. It's coming east now. So here in I could say Central Europe, it's not it's not heat. The heat hasn't came here, and usually the summers in Prague are quite rainy, especially June. Then in July and in August it's going to be hot, and last autumn was fantastic. So September and October were very mild and wonderful. So we have 13 people. Let's get started. 14 people, great. This is the official start of our tour. Welcome everyone. My name is Olga, and I'm a tour guide in Kyiv, Ukraine, and in Czech Republic, in Prague. And today I am taking you to the mesmerizing walk. I am taking you to the old town square with the updated, I would say, itinerary, because we are going to see the most beautiful square in the city, but along the way I'm going to show you the street art. And as usually, you can support me on Buy Me a Coffee and on PayPal. The links are mentioned in the beginning of in the description of the tour. And also I pinned the message in the chat. Welcome everyone, and I'm just hugging you, and I'm so glad to see you all today. Look at these wonderful butterflies. Let's look how they're moving their wings, and I will tell you what they mean. Actually, they don't mean the main. There is no special meaning. It's so beautiful because they were made from the World War planes. Can you see the middle of these butterflies? So the huge wings, they are moving, and it is not so dark, but they have the lighting. So if you look closely, I will try to enlarge them, the image. Oh, it's working, great. Please let me know, can you see the butterflies a little bit closer? So their inner part, the middle part of the butterfly, are the jets, like this World War II jets with the propellers, and they also have the huge wings, and they are moving. There are two butterflies. Please guys, let me know, is it can you see the picture when I'm enlarging it? When it is a little bit darker, they will be shiny, and like this light illumination will become more visible. But even now you can see how huge they are. So look at this amazing architecture of the city, which is very diverse, because Prague has got these Art Nouveau buildings with for example, you're looking at this Knedlik restaurant. It's the traditional dessert And over here you can see the buildings which are like made of glass. So how big they are really huge. I don't know the span, like in the meters, the span of the wings, but and you see that the buildings are reflecting, like the old building, which is like I'm standing right here. Can you see the decorations, like the grapes and these are the usual decorations of the architecture in the streets, and they are reflected in these glass buildings. So they are really big, and they are like as big as the building itself, like half of the building. They're placed very high, and there are two of them on like on the other sides of the roads. The road is a little bit under, like the restoration is undergoing here. But still it's possible to come closer. And now I hope that you are ready to see our second miracle of today's tour. I have a lot of surprises. We are going to explore Franz Kafka's moving head. I have shown you it a couple of times, but the thing is that this Kafka's head it was under the reconstruction for the whole winter, so they were reconstructing it for the whole winter, and just I think in April they opened Franz Kafka again, and they fixed this 1 kilometer of wires that are hidden inside the sculpture. Now I'm going to show you the second huge butterfly. It is right here above my head, and then we will move to the head of Franz Kafka. It is really, really big. I hope that you enjoy this mesmerizing show of trams, butterflies, moving heads, and everything that beautiful Prague can offer you. It's very diverse. So really, Prague is beautiful in its diversity. That is the stop, like the tram stop, which is one of the busiest in the city. And to get to the spinning head, we will have to come through the shopping mall. It's called Quadria Shopping Mall. Look at this mascaron. So they try to integrate the modern buildings into this beautiful Art Nouveau design. Art Nouveau, I think this is the kind of the vibe, the fashion, the main style of Prague streets. There are beautiful statues even on the tram stations. By the way, these butterflies, they were placed here just I think a month ago. So they are pretty new. And this Quadria shopping mall paid for the installation of the giant Franz Kafka's head. So this is going to be the most expensive piece of art, street art in Prague. The police is very loud. Oh, Linda, it's great that you're making some kind of art connected with the butterflies. Some people think like, why the city authorities decided to place the butterflies in this historical part of the city. But like there are people who will always say like, we don't need this, we need something else. I think that this diversity and I could say braveness is also the vivid character of the city that can change and wants to change. So let me show you how the huge sandwiches, donuts and coffee cups are moving here. So probably you can notice they go up and down, up and down. So these are the decorations of the Quadria shopping mall. And the huge crowd of the people are standing here to see the brilliant piece of art, and the piece of art that is constantly changing. Welcome to the wonderful part of our today's show. So how long can you stand and watch at one piece of art. So these people will be standing here, I think, for 15 minutes. You see, they are all mesmerized. They're all making their videos on their telephones. And why? What are they mesmerized? Why they are mesmerized? They are watching that amazing Franz Kafka's spinning head. So this is the giant puzzle. Here you are. Can you guess how many layers are here? So I will tell you there are 42 layers, and it's the tribute to the bizarre writer Franz Kafka. Probably you have heard about him. Probably you have heard about his Metamorphoses, because this is the official name of the sculpture. Everybody is calling it the spinning head or rotating head, but actually the official name is Metamorphoses, as the book. And it's insane because it is also huge. You were asking me about the butterflies, but this Kafka's head is also, as like officially it's 11 meters high, 45 ton of stainless steel, and it's moving and shifting, and for a second you can just see that the head kind of becomes a head, becomes a face. So the face features are becoming visible, and then they are again rotating. So this is really the coolest piece of art that you will ever see in your life. And it's not even the piece of art, it's kind of experience, because probably you have never heard about Franz Kafka, or you just heard about him, but you don't know anything about his books. And here people are coming, standing, and some of them are, this is like the first encounter with this writer. And why is it so strange? So this piece of art reflects his inner tournament, his thoughts. So he was always his thoughts were so different and crazy, and when you are reading his books you might think that like you are in the psychological maze or in the internal maze. So kind of there is the maze inside your head, and you need to find the exit. And he was always suffering from his thoughts. And this is the most beautiful reflection of his inner tournament and the way how he was thinking. Let's have a look again at him. Hello, everyone. Yes, he was suffering a lot. First of all, he had problems, like psychological problems, because his father was an established entrepreneur. He wanted him to become the specialist in the insurance company, and Franz Kafka always wanted to write. He didn't have this good relationship with his dad, and he was suffering from that. He had 5 siblings, all of them died, and this kinetic sculpture that is just gigantic and really stunning, as Linda you are writing. This statue reflects the metamorphoses that were happening inside his head. Bizarre, surreal, unsettling, and it comes together, then falls apart. And people are standing here and staring for 15 minutes. So every hour, at the beginning of the hour, for 15 minutes, people are coming here and enjoying this show. During the sunny day, the buildings are reflected in this polished stainless steel of the layers, and it's also very beautiful because it's now the local time is what local time is 8. I began at 8, but the sun is not so bright, and during the daytime, it is kind of sparkling. So it's the different personality that you can see every time you can come here. It's a little bit wild, and it's absolutely free. So I think, let me know what do you think, but I think it's a wonderful way to engage people the audience, to engage teenagers to the world of not just of Kafka, but to the world of the literature, something that people don't know. The most unusual piece of art here, and probably like in my whole life. We're moving because we have the whole itinerary in front of you. Thank you everyone who joined. Thank you, Annette, for the compliment to our beautiful Franz Kafka. So that is the kaleidoscope of the layers, and a little bit hypnotic, I could say, because people are really hypnotized when they are watching this marvel. It was built in 2014 and it cost 30 million Czech crowns. And as I told you, Quadrius and the center paid for it. So there are motors, and each layer is programmed, and it's it's moved independently. There is the kilometer of cables, and there is the special speed with which they are moving. I mean, these layers. Absolutely mesmerizing, unusual, and a little bit controversial. Uncontroversial because it was made by the Czech artist David Czerny, and as you remember, all his statues are a little bit controversial, like this peeing man in the front, also on the courtyard of Franz Kafka Museum, and these giant crawling babies. So this author, David Czerny, he was always creating something very, very unusual, and people were discussing these pieces of art. We are entering the second part of our journey, and I'm taking you from the new town where we are to the old town. What I'm telling you, old town, new town, actually this new town where we are now was founded in the 14th century. So 14th century, and this is called New Town. This is because the giant walls were built around this old city, and we are going to enter this old city. In the second part of our tour, you will see the Henning Zygmunt Freud. You will see the Bethlehem Chapel where Jan Hus was preaching before he was burned at stake in 1415. You will see the beautiful streets that will lead us to the old town square. Let's go. Let me know how are you today, and thank you so much for supporting me. The links for Buy Me a Coffee, for PayPal are pinned, and I'm very, very grateful for the fact that you are coming and supporting the guides and me with my beautiful walks. Hello everyone. So we are entering the old town. By the way, the giant butterfly is visible from this side as well. So we began the tour, probably you missed it a little bit. There is the huge giant butterfly. We began the tour over there, so it's moving, it's huge, awesome. And now we're going to the super interesting old town. We are kind of diving into it. There are huge wooden doors with the lions, and these passengers, they are always so special in Prague because they are not just the feature of this wonderful city, but they have this practical purpose, because without these hidden passengers it would be very difficult to find the way to another part of the city, so they kind of shorten your way. And now these beautiful courtyards, they are used by the tourists. There are so many cafes, they're very cozy and wonderful. Everyone is obsessed with beer, the tourists and the people, and Franz Kafka and politicians. Everybody is drinking beer and having fun during the summer. Prague is a special city in many different ways because it has a combination of the natural beauty, it has the beautiful river and the bridges and the parks, and it also has the amazing architecture. So I'm terribly afraid of these scooters. I think they can't coordinate well, and they could be even dangerous. And also Prague is hilly city, so it was built on the hilly 7 hills, on the hilly terrain, and that is why it is so diverse. And again, another beautiful doors, and we are in the old city. So the architecture of Prague is absolutely beautiful because it didn't suffer the excessive bombing during World War II, when Dresden, which is quite close, it was leveled, and the German cities were just leveled. But Prague survived. We are in this old, mesmerizing place. This is, I think, Mozart, and he probably stayed here, so he loved this city. And his premiere of Don Giovanni happened here, and this sign shows that Mozart was staying here. So that's how the small streets of the old town looks like. And now when we will be approaching the old city square, you will see how these streets are becoming more narrow and more narrow, because this variety of architecture that I mentioned before is really visible when you are approaching the astronomical clock and this main old town square where the huge medieval market was. So do you remember I was telling you just a few seconds ago about the new city and the old city? So this was the wall actually, and this church is called Martin, the church of Saint Martin in the wall, because it was built just in the wall, inside the wall, and it belongs to the 12th century. It's very old. There is the small statue of the boy who is just sleeping here, and there is the legend that this stone boy was cursed by his mom. He was very naughty. He was jumping on the roofs, and he was throwing things on the other people who were walking along the road, when during this time his mom was just returning from work, and his mom said to him, like, you behave so badly, I want you to it's better for you to be a stone, to turn into stone. Unfortunately, the mother's words turned true, and the boy turned into the stone, and since that time his small figure is sleeping on that corner of St. Martin's church. So that is why it's the legend with this boy who is still sleeping there. Sometimes you can go inside, there is the service and it's open, and when you go inside you will see the absolutely simple monastic interior. So it's wonderful that just in the middle of the city you can see such an old stones. Can you believe? These are authentic stones of the 12th century. Nothing has changed here. About the elevator, Claire, that you are mentioning, the most famous elevator, Panna Costa, what is like, there is the official name of this elevator, in the new city hall, it was absolutely free. But then they closed it, and now they opened it, and you have to pay money for to go to this elevator that is constantly moving. However, there are a few other elevators that are still open for the public. I haven't checked them yet, so probably I will check them and show them to you. But inside the buildings, the connection is always poor. I know that one is in Charles University, and I should check the other two addresses. But the most famous one is now not for free. This was the city hall, and the city authorities decided to earn some money. So they opened it as the attraction for the tourists. So let me show you the huge walls, these medieval walls again, and we will go to see the hanging Sigmund Freud, and then we will go to the huge square. So how do you like our walk today? I have absolutely changed the direction, and I'm showing you some boulevards and streets that that I'm not showing usually during the classical tour. So this variety of architecture is here because there was the political variety, I could say, historical variety. You can see some Soviet buildings if you move a little bit away from the city center. And now in Prague, there's Soviet gray houses. They are turning into the bright yellow, red, pink. So people are just decorating them with different colors and reconstructing them. So I want to tell you that even if you move a little bit away from the city center, you will see beautiful Soviet buildings that are transformed into some kind of into some new style. I will come a little bit closer, and even here you can see on the building sitting some kind of different people of different professions, different pictures, statues. They are not saints, probably workers, but still it is amazing. We are approaching the place where, as I told you, the Protestantism was born, because Jan Hus was preaching in this Bethlehem chapel in 1412 up to his death in 1415, when he was taken to the outskirts of Prague and he was burned alive. That is a part of the city that is more about not just, so it's important not because of its beauty, it's very beautiful, but it's important because of its historical meaning, probably. Hussite rebellion was defeated, we can say, by the church, and the Habsburgs came here. They made this reformation of the church, and the Catholic nobles, Catholic nobility, built a lot of Catholic churches here and palaces, and they all belong to the 17th century. And this was the time when the statues appeared on the Charles Bridge. So I have told you a little bit about history of Prague and why it is so beautiful, because it is absolutely diverse and because it wasn't ruined during the World War II. So this is the I forgot to show you Sigmund Freud. So he's hanging very, very high, guys. This statue is 2 meters high, so it's kind of like the real man. And when it was taken to Chicago, then during the exhibition, it was like people thought that he was really the person is hanging from the ceiling. And this is Sigmund Freud. You can see him when you look up, and you have to move your head very, very, very high. So let me show you this Bethlehem Chapel, and again we will come again to Sigmund Freud, but from the other side probably you will be able to spot his face. So this is the restaurant Schweik. There are a few restaurants of this kind. They are kind of net restaurants. They have the Czech cuisine, and some people say that it is overpricey, but still they have this vibe of World War the First soldier and his fun adventures. This is the Bethlehem Chapel where Jan Hus was preaching. It's absolutely simple from the outside, and you can go inside. It's like to pay money for your ticket and to see just the ancient walls of this chapel, because they belong to the 15th century, and it's wonderful. There is the beautiful Italian corner here. It's working. It's even kind of, they made it, expanded, they made it a little bit bigger, because last year there were no these tables. It was the free square. Look at these amazing restaurants and the buildings. Some people are asking about this gray, you see, steps. So at the special time, I don't remember, like it's midday, the noon, but I don't remember the special day. So there is the one day in a year when the sun lies, and you can read the letters over there. I think there is the word something like the truth, because Jan Hus loved truth, and the sun shines, and you can see the letters. The truth will prevail. This courtyard reminds me about kind of Rome or Italy. It's so beautiful and cozy. Beautiful chandeliers and the lamps. So this is how the restaurants look like here. Let's go and see again Sigmund Freud, Hanging Man, from another perspective, and we will move to the old town square. I hear here a lot of compliments to Prague. You know, it's a wonderful time of the year now when I'm showing it to you. It's amazing. The trees have got benches, so you can see the bench, and around the bench there are, around the tree, sorry, there are the benches. And sometimes on the houses you can see this ivy. You can see the old buildings, but they are decorated with this ivy. And sometimes you can see that the people are just playing here, tennis, for example, in front of the Bethlehem Chapel. Isn't it wonderful, guys? You can see the life is happening, and it's so amazing. It's so diverse. Like everything is here. Some people are, like as tourists, are walking. Some people are playing sports here. Some people are just enjoying the beer in the restaurants. We are moving to the heart of Prague, to the old town square, and we will walk along these old streets. So can you see Hanging Man just in front of you over there? He's still hanging here. Actually, Sigmund Freud was afraid to die. You know, he was afraid to die, and this was his nightmare. Because the man who is hanging there, he's grasping for life. So he's hanging, but he doesn't want to die. He doesn't want to commit suicide. It's actually the statue of Sigmund Freud, and it was made in 1997. And the idea of this statue is that Sigmund Freud wanted to show that not Sigmund Freud, but the people who created the statue, they wanted to show the helplessness of the person, that sometimes we don't have any power to change anything, but he's trying still to pull himself and to not to die, like he's trying to find to grasp the life. This is how the brewery, the restaurants, the local restaurants look like. The wooden chairs and wooden tables. So starting from this area, I hope there will be no cars because they are prohibited here. So this is Sigmund Freud from this side. It's always possible for the person to pull himself or like herself just to save yourself. Tell me if you agree or not. Can we, how do you think? Is it possible to save ourselves? If we really want to live, we don't want to die like this. The idea of that statue, it's not to promote the suicide. It's the idea that the person can save his life by himself. He's trying very, very much, and he tries just to pull himself out of the difficult situation. I'm walking, and the tourists are just walking on, like from the old town square. It's I love the street coming here in the morning. Early in the morning when there is just nobody. It's mesmerizing because it is narrow, that it will lead you to the city center. And especially when it is winter, a little bit sparkling, crispy air. So let me show you it with tourists right now. And probably one day you will come here and see it. But now it's free, so you can imagine that it is so beautiful at like in the morning when there is no one. This is the huge church of St. Elijah. It has the beautiful wooden interior, so the benches they are so beautiful inside. And this is the church that is free, because usually the churches sometimes, not usually, the churches sometimes are for money here because Prague is the atheistic country. There are not so many people who still follow come to the service. So let me quickly show you inside the interior. And this is what I wanted to show you, how beautiful the benches are. Can you see the woodwork? So it's a Baroque church, and every bench has got a different design. Can you see that they are different? The motifs, like there are hops, for example, there are grapes. And there's the Baroque decorations. And even from this side, it is also beautiful. When I'm talking, I feel a little bit awkward because the echo and the acoustics is very good here. Okay, I will go outside. It's me. So I think that one of the interesting features of Prague is that when you visit the city, you will come here next time and you will discover something new. There are a lot of corners which are not so popular as, let's say, as people are celebrating there. Let's go. So it's not that people there are iconic places, of course, like Prague Castle, Charles Bridge, astronomical clock, but there are some corners that will be like the revelation for you. And I think this is an interesting, one of the best parts of the journey. So when you are walking in some kind of street and all of a sudden you discover for yourself that this particular street has got very cozy cafe, and you just have to slow down. So when you are traveling, you don't have to rush for all those amazing sights. Sometimes you need to slow down, and this experience, when you are just concentrating at something, will create memories for you. Like this church, like some interesting designs of the houses, for example, these details. This is the essence of your journeys to find your connection with the city. And I love Prague because, of course, it's not ruined. It has this medieval vibes, but it is slightly exotic. Exotic, I mean that it's different from other European Western cities. It's still cheap, but you should know the places where it is cheap, not everywhere. Like this is the pricey ice cream shop, like gelato shop. This huge line of tourists is waiting for the the tastiest gelato here. But if they don't look up, look at these nights. So this is the street. No, it's not this street, guys. This is the street that will lead you to the Charles Bridge. And today we are not exploring Charles Bridge. We are going to have another tour. But look at these signs, house signs. When you look up, you will see the kind of the signatures of the masters who lived here. Like these guys are carrying the grapes, and probably the person who was producing wine lived here. This is the house at the Golden Tiger. It's also very beautiful. So Prague is really medieval, comfortable, a little bit exotic, and still it is the Western city, so it will look familiar for you. It's a big city, and it combines these metropolitan facilities of the, I don't know, let's say London or Berlin, with some kind of fairy tale look. Look at these golden apples. Isn't it like we're inside the fairy tale? You can come and just feel that you see how the city is developing. What I also like about the city, that there are always something happening. I mean, there are a lot of free stuff outside, free festivals, especially beer festival, cider festival, wine festival. They're always here. You just have to find the site, the Facebook group, or like the place where locals or the people, like everything is done through the social media now. You can easily find this kind of the spots. You need to know the itinerary and where to go. And there are always some festivals happening every weekends here. It's just a beautiful street. Look at these statues. So probably it's, I don't know why this It's a museum, but there are so many people. Probably today they have the free entrance, who knows? So many people are standing here. So the line goes over there and just around the corner. Can you imagine that? I don't know why so many people are standing. I don't know. I don't know. Probably I will miss something today. Okay. So the line is really huge, but it's moving quite quickly. You see, it's kind of going even around the corner. Hello, everyone. Hello, my dear. Thank you for joining me today. And now it's time to see the mesmerizing astronomical clock. Thank you for being with me here today. And now you will be rewarded by the beautiful old town square. I'm showing you this place quite often on my tours, and it's unmissable. It's kind of the major crossroad. You always come there. Whenever I have the ghost tour or I have even the Jewish tour, I always come to the old town square. And this is what you are going to see right now. People are eating trendelnik. This is the chimney cake. So, you know, this is the interesting fact about Prague, that, like, you know, in summer usually people drink more beer. In winter, during the Christmas holidays, people drink this glue wine. But the owners of these trendelnik shops, they always have profit because they're always eating. People are always eating trendelniks. And this guy has got the hugs for peace and love. So probably he also wants money for his wonderful poster. So he's offering hugs. Okay, he's offering hugs. I understand now. I didn't catch. That is the crown. We are on the royal way of the Bohemian kings, and we are coming to the astronomical clock. I think that our tour today is really the combination of everything, of architectural beauty and of history and a little bit of natural beauty. This place is dramatic today because so many people, and even in comparison with the last week when I came here, so all the restaurants are prepared for the summer season. This is the first time when I see that they occupied this space. It's open museum night in Prague. Oh, John, thank you for letting me know, because yes, you're right. I was planning to go. But if it's night, John, how do you think? I will now Google after the tour. Probably the museums will be open a little bit later, and I will try to catch something. I will try to go inside. So this is the first time when I see the people are sitting just in front of these buildings on the perimeter. The house with the 3 all white roses. This crazy story when one man had 3 daughters, and they married the same guy. So he was coming, getting married with one lady, then with the second, and then with the third because of the dowry. And then the people found out that the girls are missing. Probably he killed them, who knows. And father, in despair, ordered to draw 3 white roses on the roof of this beautiful building. I love it because it's decorated in these golden frescoes, and it has this also vibes of the medieval square. So from 7 p.m. and now it's 8 p.m. This explains why the line was so huge, because it's kind of just the beginning of the show. I will go back and try to go inside. So this is what I was telling you. There is always something happening. even at night, the museums are open. I think that there was like probably last weekends, there was the museum when the churches were open. You should always use these opportunities and come to see when it is free. Oh my gosh, look at this amazing, like sun is kissing the tin church. Can you see how beautiful it is? It's so shiny. So if you are ready to the time travel journey, I'm here. We are going to discover the secrets of the enchanting astronomical clock. It's not Halloween, but the lady looks like it's the Halloween today. It's amazing that this clock was created 100 years before Shakespeare and 300 years before US was founded. I'm going to show you the most famous astronomical clock in the world. There are also other astronomical clocks, but they are special because they are still working. They are still preserved with this old mechanism inside, and nothing has ruined it. So 1410, this is the year when they were created, more than 600 years ago. It's just iconic, guys. You see the tin church, the beautiful clock. It's amazing. So if you don't know the standard time, you can use this clock, or you can use the clock on the very top of the building. You see the other clock, and this is the place for the audience because the astronomical clock show happens every hour, and for the pickpockets. So this small square in front of the old astronomical clock is free now because people will start coming here in a couple of minutes. In 15 minutes there will be the show. And what is happening? These two windows open. You see two blue windows on the top open. The apostles appear there, and they are moving inside. So they are moving in this two windows. Apostles are rotating, and you can see the figures here. The skeleton here, where is the skeleton, the merchant, the other like figures, and they come alive because the clock is not just telling you the time, but it tells you the name, the position of the star, of the moon, and these figures, they come alive and they begin to shake their hands because the skeleton is ringing the bell, and the figures who don't want to die, they are shaking their hands, they are denying the death. And this show is a friendly reminder for you that the time is here, that the time can we say so, doesn't excuse us. We have always to think about the time and to use the time that we have on this earth to make as many good things as we can. So very soon the crowd will be waiting for the show. Look how beautiful it is, and it's the blend of time and wonder. It's always interesting to see the reaction of the crowd because some people are not very astonished by the show. There is no fire, no dragon, and still the show was happening since 1410. But I think this clock and the square is mind-blowing place in any season and in any time of the year. We're walking along the square, and I will show you the beautiful its old town hall. It was also built in the 14th century. And there is the crazy legend about the clock and the clockmaster who created it, because every city wanted this beautiful clock for themselves. And the city councillors were afraid that this master would just go to another city and create another marvel in another city, and the prestige of Prague will be lost. So they secretly discussed their evil plot. So these leaders invite Hanush, the master who created astronomical clock, here, and they invited him to the party, paid him a lot of money, and they got him drunk, and he went to sleep, and then he burned his eyes with this iron red stick, and they cut his tongue, so he couldn't tell anyone how to create another clock, and he couldn't create another clock himself. Yes, Marina, I'm very glad that you have joined, and the video, I will not hide it. Usually I'm keeping the video for a couple of weeks, and you will be able to rewatch it. So please enjoy now the live the live show, and then you will begin from there. Like, you will see the beginning of the show. It is a wonderful tour today. I love when I'm showing you a lot of diverse things, and I'm also grateful for your donations and for your help. Thank you for coming, and thank you for leaving me some tips on Buy Me a Coffee, on PayPal. It is absolutely wonderful and essential when I can share with you and you can support me, because this is also valuable. Valuable, I mean that when we need to help each other, and we need to know that, I need to know that what I'm doing is valuable, and your donations are the measurement of this value. A little bit of philosophy from me on the terms or about the tips, and I'm very grateful that you are here. So the master Hanush, I just didn't finish the story, that he was they poked his eyes, and he went up to the roof of the building, and he threw himself from that building, jumped from that old town hall, and it took some time to fix the clock. I want to show you the observation platform, so you can go there and watch from above, and there is the clock. It's still here, and it shows you the correct time. So it's not astronomical clock, it's the usual clock, because if people don't know the time, they can look up and they will see the clock, the ordinary clock. Because for example, I can't read the time on the astronomical clock. I know what they mean, but it has the old Bohemian time, the old Babylonian time, all these positions of the stars and the moon, and it is very difficult to read them. So this is the old town hall. Part of the building is missing, and you see the beautiful park. It's because during the World War II there was the huge fire in 1945, and the town hall partly was ruined. This part, luckily not with the astronomical clock, but with them the building of the old town hall, and they decided not to restore it, but instead they planted the beautiful park. In the center of the square you can see Jan Hus monument. It's amazing because it is rising from the ground. We have visited today the Bethlehem Chapel where he was preaching. So he was a predecessor of Martin Luther, and he was the founder, the beginner of Protestant church. And this is Teen Church. This is the Diva, the church that inspired Walt Disney to create his Sleeping Beauty. It has two towers, Adam and Eve, and as you can see, the Adam is protecting Eve from the sun. So it's Enchanting church, and in Enchanting Prague, and they were building it for 160 years. The construction was finished in the 1511. And it's called Teen Church. These buildings in front of it actually are older than the church itself. Oh, look, this is another line. This is the night of museums, as Joanna wrote to ours, and this is Kinsky Palace, so the National Gallery. And look at the huge line of the people. So there are hundreds of them, and everybody is waiting for the entrance. Look, so this is the night of the museums, and it's not that people love free stuff. Of course, people love free stuff, but it's always amazing that you can, the authorities allow this to happen. And actually, I think that it doesn't happen in Prague so often. That is because the lines are so big. You know that, for example, I think once a month in Paris, in probably first Monday or something like this, you need to know this, Louvre is open for the public. In Florence, again, there is the special day. So every month there is a special day when public can go and visit the place for free. But in Florence, I think it's just in the winter months, in off season. And here in Prague, this happens once a year. However, on public holidays, you can visit not museums, but kind of governmental buildings. They are also open, and you can go inside and see how the ministers are working, how the president is working. So I love this connection of authorities with the people, and still the people who don't have money, or they have money but probably not enough for the museums, they still have the opportunity to go. And it's really so special when you go to the art gallery. Then you can go to the cafe, but it's absolutely different experience. I think that people should go to galleries and to museums because it's changing us, it's changing our personality. Let me know, what do you think? I don't know if you love this philosophical thoughts about the museums and about Prague, but I love sharing with you what I have on my heart and on my mind. Thank you so much for being with me. My greatest fear to begin the tour and to be alone, and this never happened. This is because of you, because you are always coming, supporting, and I hope smiling on the other side of the screen. Thank you so much for being with me. Thank you for your tips. Thank you for being so generous, wonderful, and active in the chat. Thank you. I will flip the camera and I will show you a little bit more on the square. Let me know, do you want me to stay on the astronomical clock show? So I know that I have shown you it before, so I don't know if you're interested in it or not. So this is the Teen Church again, and it's like screaming, "Hi, I'm here, I'm fabulous." And you can see Teen Church from everywhere. It's not even the legend, but the story has it that the towers are asymmetrical, not by mistake, but this is the special idea. It was planned that way. And they reach 80 meters, that is 262 feet. You see that the spires of the church are adorned with this another spires. So actually 2 big towers, then 4 spires, and then again 4 spires. Actually there will be, I think, 8 spires on each of the towers. So this church is the most recognizable Gothic splendor of Prague. And this is like some kind of medieval fantasy fairy tale. I like this view when you see this, it's called Marian column. when you see this column and the amazing spires. It reminds me a magical forest that is reaching the sky or the heaven. So now it's the church, and like you can go inside. I mean, and the entrance is hidden below this fresco. So it's you need to go through the courtyard, and then you will find your way there. So there is the amazing place. And this square was the medieval square for the merchants in medieval Prague. People would sell and buy things here. And there is the special courtyard for the merchants. It is just behind the church. It is called Ungeld. It means tax in Old German. So this was the place where the foreign merchants, they would stay and take care of their business. Then they were measuring goods and paying tax, and then they would come here to this square. So this tin church was like a fortress. Oh my gosh, do you want to see the crowd and the pickpockets? This is how everything is happening. Can you see the hundreds of people there waiting? Hooray, the show is beginning. Everybody is cheering, and here it's happening. I want to find the good spot for you. I hope you can see the apostles. So this is the astronomical clock show. Mini adventure, hidden treasure to be discovered. It's something amazing. The rooster crows. The crowd is cheering. Look at this. Like you are there cheering as well. So many people are coming here every hour. So the show is over. So that's all. Just a few seconds. I think 20 seconds. The Apostles' Parade and the rooster crows. And it's happening for 600 years. And I was happy to show that to you. I love that special vibes of the live tours. There is nothing more delighted to have a tour with you. Really, like adrenaline. That is the lower dial, and it shows them different saints of the day. And it shows agricultural calendar. Let's come and I will show it in detail, the lower dial. So the show is over and the crowd begins to move. Can you see the dial now? So it depicts how the people are working on the ground. Yes, Linda, you are right. I feel that way because during the live tours, something new is happening. Like the place is old, Tin Church is still standing, clock is still standing, but really there is some new people are drinking beer, some new stag parties showing you flamingos or other costumes. And the weather is different, sometimes it is rain, sunshine. Prague is full of tourists, of people. Today is the museum night. So wonderful. Thank you for joining me. Love you all. So I'm saying goodbye to you. Um, Probably I will try to go inside some of the museum to become kind of cultural and feel myself with like some culture, paintings, sculptures, to be to feel that, like, you know what is the difference. Now I wanted to make this comparison about Ukraine again. When I was in Ukraine, like when the bombs are falling, when there is the always this kind of the blackouts, people, like, what makes difference? What is the difference between people who live now in Ukraine and here, the people who just walking along the streets? In Ukraine we survive, so the people are not thinking about museums, pictures, music, or anything else. People just survive. And when they come to the safe place, let's say they cross Ukrainian border, there are no bombs anymore, you feel like you can think about something else. You can experience that just when you go to the country which is at war, to Ukraine, because when you don't have the water and electricity, you're like zombie. Your only ultimate thing, your ultimate thought is to survive, to cook meals when they give you electricity, to use this time to like to charge power banks, to be able to like to boil water and to pour this water on the thermos flasks to be able to make tea later. Your thoughts are not about how even to earn money, not about some kind of high things like literature or music or sculptures or paintings. This is what makes people different. When you are safe, you have different thoughts. I still want to go back to Ukraine, and I feel so like when I begin to think about this, like how I felt myself when I was staying there, it makes me scared, and still I want to go back. Probably this is because I have in my mind this picture, keep in my mind the picture of Ukraine without war. And then when you come, you hear this again. I'm telling you because now Putin and Russians, they ruined most of our this electricity grid, and people have very difficult times. Like really, people are surviving and just thinking about how to cook when they have electricity. It's awful. It's awful because it's not the way how it should be in Europe. It's not the way how people should live. And I want the world to know about this. And even if 25 people on my tour will know that people in Ukraine are suffering so much, probably it will have such a small impact. Thank you so much for being with me and for exploring beautiful Prague and for listening these Ukrainian sentiments and stories. Love you all. See you next time. Probably we will walk along the Charles Bridge and talk about legends. Thank you. Goodbye. So there are two ways to support me and to help me, just to help me and support me. PayPal, and on PayPal, marvelous.kyiv. There is the dot between two words, at gmail.com, or buy me a coffee. And I'm grateful for everything that you are sending to me. Thank you so much. Goodbye, my dear. See you in Prague next time. Oh, as I was writing, we had refugee festival near Bristol today, had Ukrainian folk dancing and singing. Ukrainians are everywhere. It's a wonderful opportunity for the world to know Ukrainian culture and ours as people. But I don't want this price. It's so pricey, it's so pricey that people are hearing these songs, watching this dancing. It's wonderful. But still, it makes me think that I would prefer nobody knows about Ukraine. I would prefer that nobody knows ours, but at least thousands of people would be alive and living in their villagers in cities. Probably you would never know, you don't, like, the world didn't know about Ukraine before the war. Many people just thought it's kind of Russia, one of those strange names and republics, and who knows what Ukraine is now. People know about Ukraine, but what price of this knowledge is. So it's wonderful that we are here and you are embracing ours. I mean, the people in Europe are inviting us and giving us the chance, especially moms with children, to survive and to be able to continue our, like, keeping our heritage in this awful historical circumstances. Love you all. Can't say goodbye to you. I will show you wild horses. They are wild because they're not very wild, but they are epic. They are epic because the picture with them horses and the old town square is amazing, like this. Hi Joyce. So if you guys, if you joined the tour later, it's okay. It's okay. I will not delete it for a couple of weeks and you will be able to enjoy this amazing work that we have today. Like, you can rewatch it, you can replay it, and you can enjoy. Thank you for joining me. Sending you love and hugs from Ukraine. Oh, what did I say? From Ukraine. Okay, from Ukraine. From Ukraine. Ukraine is in my heart, so I can say that I'm sending you the vibes, Ukrainian vibes. You see, people are coming to these horses and they love to make pictures with them. That is the epic view. I think the girl will have the wonderful picture. Okay, thank you so much and goodbye. Goodbye, my dear. Thank you for coming. Thank you. Goodbye.